Afternoon, everybody. So I went ahead and gave United Health a call today, and I was on the phone for about an hour and a half trying to figure out who my primary care physician is. And if you remember a couple videos back, I had called and waited on hold for quite a long time to get the same name of the person on my card who is not primary care physician at the facility. So it's just kind of weird that that all happens. But according to insurance companies, I guess people, doctors, whatever, switch around, and so they can definitely not cover anymore, or specific insurance groups, I guess. So I did end up finding a new primary care physician, and the appointment that was set for me was going to be in January of 2025. And so I told the guy on the phone, I'm like, so people really do just wait and die before they see a primary care physician? Like, that's wild to me. And he went ahead and searched around and was able to give me a appointment in October. So thank goodness that that has happened. And now I have a new primary doctor, and I can start to get things checked out that I have been avoiding or not wanting to be talking about, basically. Nothing terribly bad, but for instance, a couple of weeks ago, remember how I was at the gym? Everything was going great. And I got up on a Wednesday, and I was sitting on the couch, and when I got up, I felt like my foot kind of hurt a little bit, and I didn't think anything too much of it, because sometimes that just happens, right? Like your foot falls asleep, or you get like a kink in it or something. I felt like my foot needed to pop, but I didn't push it or anything. It just was irritated. And then the next day it was a little bit more sore, but like in my heel area. But I, again, didn't really think anything of it. And then Friday, I went to the gym and did my walk on the treadmill. And then I decided to do a couple of minutes of running. So I did, and it was gross. Like, I don't like to run, but I did it. And I'm glad that I did it, but at the same time, I could definitely feel that my foot was in agony, but nothing terrible. And one of the things that I use to dictate whether or not something is terribly painful is whether I compare it to natural childbirth, because I'm like, is this as bad as natural childbirth? Usually the answer is no. And so I just kind of toughed it out. I came home, took Smokey out to go potty, and then I was meeting a friend for breakfast, and we sat in a booth and we talked for about an hour or so. And then when I got up, my foot really hurt, and I toughed it out. I tried not to limp. I got to the car. I had to pick up groceries at Fry's, and I live on the second floor, and my apartment's a little bit from where I park. And so it's not terribly far, but when you're in agony, it is pretty far. And it took me a long time to get up the steps. I don't know what the heck I did. But I also thought, this is why running is evil. Another reason why I feel like running is just evil, because now my foot is broke. Actually, it wasn't broken, but it really felt terrible. So by the time I got home, I left my groceries like by the door. And I almost had to crawl to do my exchange. Like, it hurt so bad to put my foot flat. I went ahead and did my exchange. I laid on the bed, hobbled to the bed, laid down for a little while, and then I kind of felt a little bit better, so I ended up getting my way back to the couch, and I hung out on the couch for the rest of the day until Donnie got home. And when he got home, I told him, I don't know what I did, but my foot hurts so bad. Meanwhile, I jumped on Google, because I'm like, what did I do? And from what I can gather, it must be, or it could be, I don't know how to say it, like plantar fasciitis, something like that, or bone spur. And they said like it just can happen, and basically if you use really old shoes, which I do, that it can happen more often than if you just were to get new shoes. So anyways, I guess that's how I hurt myself. And so I think the entire weekend I didn't do hardly anything. I did just what I had to do. And ironically, we didn't have Charlie that weekend, which is really nice because I couldn't imagine having to pick him up or to carry him or to get, corral him to go do something. So it was nice that I had the weekend to relax. That Sunday night I had a gym, so I went ahead and went to it, and I just got in there and then sat. And I had posted about what the heck had happened to my foot. Like it's why it's still like bewildering to me. And so many people I know came forward and they were like, oh yes, I've had this for years. Here's what I do. Here's what you can do. Like different foot massages, different things that you can do to rub on top, like ointments and so forth. And really Donnie did a lot of massaging of my foot because it just hurt so bad. I don't wish that pain on anybody, and it is crippling. So I did end up going ahead and taking a pain med for it because I don't like to take medicine. You guys know this, but it was terrible. And that really did help. But the thing that really helped a lot was the THC ointment I rubbed on there. And I don't know what the heck, but it made my foot feel so much better. And I'm just so grateful for it. But that was a couple weeks ago, and I still have a slight pain in my foot. Like I'm nervous to take a very long walk, and I'm nervous to run. I have been purchasing new shoes because I did realize I wear a lot of Converse. I love Converse, but Converse does not have padding on the sole. It's pretty flat. You're kind of like a flat-footed person, I guess, if you wear those. So I bought probably like 5 years ago, and I think I must have got them at Ross. But this one pair of shoes, and they were always so comfortable. They were super, super squishy inside and just so nice. But nobody else makes them now, and they're like out of production. I can't even find the business that made them, and so that really sucks. So I decided to Google, like what's the best shoe for walking? What's the best shoe for running? What's the best shoe for comfort? What's the best shoe for plantar fasciitis? Like what's the best shoe for bone spurs? And it's amazing all these styles of shoes that came popping up, because it's not just a one shoe fits all kind of situation, and it's not even a one shoe fits shoe pain. It's like, where's your pain on your foot first, and then we'll figure out what shoe. And there's different places you can go, like Fit Feet is one here in Tucson that will have like kind of basically make a mold of your foot to figure out what kind of walker you are, and then they'll be able to give or probably lead you to the different shoes to wear. I don't know if there's a cost for that, but I couldn't even get outside. So I went ahead and ordered on Amazon a couple of pairs of shoes, and it ended up costing me around $100 for 2 pairs. I am frugal, and it kills me to have to buy expensive shoes. And I know for some people, like $50 a shoe is not expensive, but to me, it's like super expensive. I'm used to like $20 shoes maybe at Walmart, right? So anyways, Amazon has this program called Affirm, and so you can like make payments every month. And so I thought, I'm just gonna buy these shoes. I'll make payments until, it's kind of like their in-store credit card. And so I figured I'll just make my payments and get them paid off, and at least I will, be in comfort, because that's really the biggest thing. And being able to do what I need to do, right? And then I went to Walmart's site, and they had a shoe that was normally $30 or $40, but it was on clearance for $20. And I thought, this is probably a really inexpensive shoe. It may not even be great, but I'm just going to order it, because I had to wait for my other pair of shoes to come. And so I had one pair that showed up right away, but one of the things that Google said was to rotate your shoes a lot so that you're not just stuck wearing the same ones all the time. And so I thought, yeah, that's probably pretty smart. That's why I ended up ordering 2 of them. Well, the one pair wouldn't come for like 2 or 3 weeks, which I didn't realize when I ordered. So I went ahead and ordered the $20 Walmart shoes, and they are phenomenal. In fact, I'm like, these shoes are pretty dang great. I don't know how well they'll do when I run, because I'm determined to run again. But now I have 3 pairs of shoes that I can rotate in and out. And my next shoe purchase is going to be looking at pairs of shoes that nurses wear, because nurses have to be on their feet, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Now, I'm not on my feet that much at all, but they're going for strict comfort and support, and that's probably what I need. Maybe not forever, but until I can get rid of this foot pain, I've really got to take care of this, because I realized one of my biggest fears is to not walk, and the other is to lose my sight. I think that would be the most discouraging thing, because when you're blind, you have to totally depend and trust somebody else. And that to me is probably the most scariest thing in the whole world. And so that, or not being able to get away from something that is going to hurt you. Now, granted, I have been binge watching Fear of the Walking Dead, so my life has been full of zombie movies and so forth. So probably not a great time to watch that while I have foot issues, but nonetheless, that's my life right now. So I'm glad that I was able to get some comfortable shoes. I'm able to pay it off slowly over time, because we all know on disability I'm making a lot. I found out who my primary care physician is, yay, and I'm going to see her in October and not next January. So as long as I can last till October 30th, things should be looking up, and then I just go from there. I also got a call today that my Baxter order will be in, so that's pretty cool too, because, you know, that's necessary. So that's about it for now. I'm sitting on the floor because I was stretching out my legs and my feet, so I'm going to get back to that, because that does definitely help. And of course, Donnie's foot massages. So all right, have a good day, drink your water, talk to you soon, bye bye.